Last-minute bombshell! Rodrygo is now open to joining Spurs in January and Paratici has already been told the magic number. £70 million gets the deal done. Welcome back to Tottenham News Today channel. Tottenham have been thrust into the centre of one of the most electrifying sagas of the January transfer window, with Rodrygo now genuinely evaluating a move away from Real Madrid and Spurs pushing with an aggression rarely seen from the North London club. TEAMtalk have confirmed that Fabio Paratici, operating strategically from the shadows, is the man orchestrating the talks with Real Madrid, attempting to pull off a transfer that would reshape the Premier League landscape overnight. What once seemed like fantasy has morphed into a developing reality. Despite his extraordinary technical ability and long-standing reputation as one of Brazil's brightest modern talents, Rodrygo has found himself drifting further and further away from the inner circle at Madrid. Xabi Alonso, since taking charge, has preferred redesigning the squad's hierarchy rather than building around the 23-year-old. The winger's minutes have been sporadic, uneven, and increasingly symbolic of a manager who views other profiles as more central to his plans. Rodrygo's frustration has reached a breaking point. With the World Cup edging closer, he is determined to secure consistent minutes, not late cameos, not rotational scraps, but a starring position that guarantees visibility on the international stage. At Madrid, that opportunity appears to be evaporating. Sources in Spain stress that Real Madrid have not officially listed Rodrygo for sale. Publicly, they insist he remains part of the squad's long-term vision. Yet privately, senior figures admit that an offer in the region of £70 million would demand serious consideration. It is a figure that immediately triggered interest from several Premier League heavyweights, but Tottenham are the only club willing to make him the centrepiece of their project. Inside Hotspur Way, Rodrygo has been admired since the summer, but the dynamics have shifted decisively over the past weeks. With the player now open to leaving in January, Spurs suddenly sense a real pathway to closing a deal that once felt out of reach. Paratici is holding conversations with intermediaries, Madrid representatives, and agents involved in the operation to identify the precise structure required to break Madrid's resistance. From Tottenham's perspective, this is the perfect storm. Rodrygo fits a long-standing vacancy in the squad of forward who is both technically gifted and tactically diverse. His ability to operate on either flank, drift centrally as a 10, drop into pockets to control tempo, and turn even tight matches with one moment of flair makes him exactly the kind of player Thomas Frank has been demanding since August. Spurs believe he would instantly elevate the side's attacking balance, bringing a level of unpredictability and dynamism that has been missing all season. Thomas Frank is expected to receive strong backing during the winter window. Club insiders anticipate two major signings, both with the aim of raising Tottenham's competitive level ahead of the final months of the campaign. Rodrygo is without question the most ambitious name on that list, a transformative signing who would command global attention and symbolise the club's intent to compete with Europe's very best. For Rodrygo himself, Tottenham represent an escape route and a rebirth. No more fighting for minutes behind headline stars. No more waiting for system tweaks. At Spurs, he would become the focal point, trusted, given responsibility, and allowed to influence matches in ways Madrid never consistently permitted. With Brazil watching carefully ahead of the World Cup, choosing a club that guarantees him influence carries enormous importance. Madrid still hope to keep him, but the combination of the right bid, Tottenham's persistence, and Rodrygo's hunger for a new challenge means the situation is accelerating quickly. Spurs know the opportunity in front of them. Rodrygo is receptive. Paratici is negotiating with real conviction. The window is opening, and one of the most seismic stories of January may be about to erupt. Spurs find themselves right at the centre of another major transfer saga, and this time the spotlight is firmly on Porto's goal machine, Samu Aguiawa. For months, the 21-year-old Spanish striker has been sitting near the top of Spurs' scouting lists, and now the noise around his future is growing louder with every passing week. According to TEAMtalk, Tottenham went as far as preparing groundwork for a January move, only to run straight into a wall built by Porto's hierarchy. The Portuguese giants have made their stance abundantly clear. Losing Aguiawa mid-season is not an option unless someone activates his £70 million release clause. And even then, Porto have been working tirelessly behind the scenes to convince their prodigy to stay put until the end of the campaign. Meetings were held, promises were made, and for now it appears they've succeeded in persuading him to stay through the crucial final months of the season. But Tottenham are not walking away. Far from it. Insiders around Hotspur Way claim that the club have already completed extensive due diligence on the striker background checks, data analysis, scouting reports, personality profiles, the lot. Spurs know exactly what they would be getting, and the message internally is the same. Agahauer is worth the patience, and the numbers justify every ounce of interest. 13 goals in 22 matches this season, 27 goals last season, and an upward trajectory that has scouts across Europe comparing him to some of the continent's most explosive centre-forwards. He's powerful, he's rapid, he's clinical, and crucially, he has the temperament of a player who thrives when the pressure is suffocating. For a team like Tottenham battling inconsistency and lacking a true penalty box predator, he ticks every possible box. The problem? Timing. Spurs are desperate for a striker who can arrive and make an immediate impact during the second half of the campaign. With the Premier League table tightening and Thomas Frank demanding reinforcements, the temptation will be massive for Fabio Paratici to test Porto's resolve one more time. Triggering the £70 million clause would cut through every layer of negotiation and drag the striker straight to North London. The question is simply whether Spurs feel bold enough to strike now. Despite agreeing to remain at Porto until the summer, Agahauer has never hidden his ambition. Sources in Portugal describe him as motivated, ambitious, and fully aware of the opportunities waiting for him abroad. If Tottenham arrive with a project that promises regular starts, a major role in the attack, and a long-term pathway to stardom, there is nothing stopping him from reconsidering his position. Big contracts, Champions League ambitions, Premier League exposure, all of those variables matter. For now, Porto may feel they've bought themselves time, but Tottenham have not taken their eyes off this transfer for a single second. The background work is done, the admiration is real, and the need for a striker is becoming increasingly urgent. One decisive move, one bold stroke of business, could change everything. And with Agahauer developing into one of Europe's most intriguing young forwards. That's all for today's update. If you enjoyed this video and want to stay up to date with everything Tottenham, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a story. Don't forget to drop a like and share this video with other Spurs fans. Together we can keep growing the Tottenham News Today community. Thanks for watching, and as always, come on you Spurs!